Standards for sewage grinder pump installations generally apply, although requirements may vary slightly depending on the jurisdiction. When it comes to piping, it should be rated for the appropriate pressure and temperature. Polyvinyl chloride, or PVC piping is commonly used, but it must be properly sealed to prevent leaks. Gasketed reinforced styrene, or GRS pipe is also sometimes used. Piping should be adequately supported to prevent movement and leaks. Explosive seal-off should be used to prevent flooding in the event of a pump failure. All joints and connections should be properly sealed using appropriate gaskets, caulking, or other approved methods. Some jurisdictions may require the use of dielectric unions to isolate the pump electrically from the piping. Pumps should be properly grounded and connected to an appropriate circuit breaker or fuse. Wiring should be protected from damage by using conduit or other approved methods. Pump should have a disconnect switch or circuit breaker within sight of the pump. Pump should be installed in a dry, well-ventilated location. Pump should be designed for the specific application, including flow rate and head pressure. Engineered drawings are recommended for complex installations, especially for subdivisions with multiple pumps. Regular maintenance should be performed to ensure proper operation of the pump and prevent premature failure. While there are general standards, specific requirements may vary depending on several factors. Firstly, local building codes and inspection agency regulations. Secondly, the pump manufacturer's specifications. Thirdly, the site conditions and soil type. Fourthly, the number of units served by the pump. And fifthly, the type of sewage, whether residential, commercial, or industrial. It is always best to consult with the local inspection agency and refer to the manufacturer's installation instructions to ensure that the installation meets all applicable codes and standards. Let's dive deeper into these aspects, starting with piping. The selection of pipe material is crucial for the longevity and reliability of the sewage grinder pump system. PVC, while cost-effective and commonly used, is susceptible to cracking and leaking if not installed and sealed correctly. The pipe needs to be Schedule 40 or Schedule 80 depending on the local code and pressure requirements of the system. Joints must be properly primed and glued using appropriate PVC cement, and the pipe must be adequately supported to prevent sagging or stress, which can lead to leaks. GRS piping, on the other hand, offers enhanced durability and resistance to corrosion. It is often preferred in applications where the sewage contains abrasive materials or corrosive chemicals. GRS pipe connections typically involve rubber gaskets, which provide a watertight seal without the need for solvents or adhesives. These gaskets should be inspected regularly and replaced as needed to maintain the integrity of the system. Now let's discuss the importance of seals and connections. Explosive seal-offs are critical for preventing flooding in the event of a pump failure. These devices are designed to contain any potential backflow of sewage and prevent it from entering the building or surrounding environment. They are particularly important in areas prone to flooding or where the sewage system is under high pressure. All joints and connections in the piping system should be properly sealed to prevent leaks. This includes threaded connections, flange connections, and any other type of fitting. The choice of sealant or gasket material should be based on the type of pipe material, the pressure and temperature of the sewage, and any applicable local codes or regulations. Dielectric unions are often required to electrically isolate the pump from the piping system. This is to prevent galvanic corrosion, which can occur when dissimilar metals are in contact with each other in the presence of an electrolyte such as sewage. Dielectric unions are typically made of a non-conductive material, such as plastic or rubber, and they are installed between the pump and the piping to break the electrical path. Moving on to the electrical aspects, pumps should be properly grounded to protect against electrical shock. Grounding provides a low resistance path for fault current to flow back to the source, tripping the circuit breaker or fuse and disconnecting the power. The grounding conductor should be sized according to the National Electrical Code, or NEC Table 250.122, and it should be connected to a grounding electrode system that meets the requirements of the NEC Section 250.50. Pumps should be connected to an appropriate circuit breaker or fuse to protect against overcurrent. The size of the circuit breaker or fuse should be based on the pump's full load amperage, or flaw and the starting current. The NEC Section 430 provides guidance on sizing over current protection for motors. Wiring should be protected from damage by using conduit or other approved methods. Conduit provides a physical barrier to protect the wiring from abrasion, moisture, and other environmental factors. The type of conduit used should be appropriate for the location and the type of wiring being protected. For example, rigid metal conduit, or RMC, is often used in harsh environments, while electrical metallic tubing, or IMT, is commonly used in dry locations. Pumps should have a disconnect switch or circuit breaker within sight of the pump to allow for safe maintenance and repair. The disconnect switch or circuit breaker should be readily accessible and clearly labeled to indicate its purpose. Now let's talk about other important requirements. Pumps should be installed in a dry, well-ventilated location to prevent corrosion and overheating. The pump should be protected from the elements such as rain, snow, and sunlight, and it should be located in an area with adequate airflow to dissipate heat. Pumps should be designed for the specific application, including flow rate and head pressure. The flow rate is the volume of sewage that the pump can move in a given amount of time, typically measured in gallons per minute. The head pressure is the total vertical distance that the pump can lift the sewage, plus any friction losses in the piping system. Engineered drawings are highly recommended for complex installations, especially for subdivisions with multiple pumps. Engineered drawings provide a detailed plan of the sewage system, including the location of the pumps, piping, and other components. They also specify the materials, sizes, and installation methods to be used. Regular maintenance is essential to ensure proper operation of the pump and prevent premature failure. Maintenance should include periodic inspection of the pump, motor, and wiring, as well as lubrication of the moving parts and cleaning of the pump basin. Finally, let's delve deeper into the variations. Local building codes and inspection agency regulations can vary significantly from one jurisdiction to another. It is essential to consult with the local authorities to ensure that the installation meets all applicable requirements. These codes often address issues such as setbacks from property lines, depth of burial, and backflow prevention. Pump manufacturers' specifications provide detailed information on the installation, operation, and maintenance of the pump. These specifications should be followed closely to ensure proper performance and longevity. Site conditions and soil type can affect the design and installation of the sewage system. For example, in areas with high water tables, it may be necessary to install a submersible pump or a dewatering system. The type of soil can also affect the type of pipe and the amount of support needed. The number of units served by the pump can affect the size and capacity of the pump. A larger pump may be needed to serve multiple units or a large subdivision. The type of sewage, whether residential, commercial, or industrial, can affect the type of pump and the treatment requirements. Commercial and industrial sewage may contain higher concentrations of solids, grease, or chemicals, which can require specialized pumps and treatment systems. In conclusion, while general standards exist for sewage grinder pump installations, specific requirements can vary widely depending on the local jurisdiction, the pump manufacturer, the site conditions, and the type of sewage. Consulting with local authorities and following the manufacturer's instructions are critical for ensuring a safe and reliable installation. Understanding the nuances of piping materials, seals, electrical connections, and maintenance protocols will contribute to a well-functioning and durable sewage grinder pump system. Always prioritize safety and adherence to regulations to protect both the environment and public health.